In July 2011, South Sudan declared independence from Sudan. After decades of conflict and the deaths of nearly 3 million people, it looked like the East African country was finally at peace. But the new state of South Sudan left its former allies in Blue Nile abandoned on the wrong side of the border. The local Blue Nile division of the South Sudanese army, the SPLA, now found themselves fighting the war on their own as a tiny, outnumbered rebel group, and they chose a new name for themselves, the SPLA North. Within weeks, the Sudanese government moved to crush the Blue Nile rebels. A 5-year truce was suddenly broken and Sudan was plunged back into war. Hundreds of thousands of civilians have fled to refugee camps across the border, but no one seems to care. This is the world's least reported war because no journalists have ever spent time on the front line, and no one knows what's actually happening inside Blue Nile. So I went to hang out with the rebels for a month to find out what was really going on. They all seemed like nice guys, but I wasn't sure they really knew what they were doing.
Me, I am Brigadier General Mahmoud Blue Nile State. Now we are in Blue Nile, welcome. And then we go to front line.
Okay. You captured these?
Yes, we captured these from the enemy.
South?
Yeah. Even that one. Then we captured many tanks from the enemy since 1997. This is the beginning of the war here in Blue Nile.
Since South Sudan stopped supplying the rebels, their only source of heavy weapons was whatever they could capture from the enemy, or whatever rusty and broken equipment they're able to repair and keep moving, like a lethal version of Scrap Heap Challenge.
They don't want the democratic system in Sudan. They want to rule us with what they have in their mind. So the system of Sharia law, which cannot take all of us together. Because here we have some of us, they don't have even religion. How can you do them? Yeah, you cannot chase them away from Sudan. So we can live together. So that is our problem. So we will fight, even if only man can remain, he will fight. No problem. And we have our generation will come with the same system of our right. No problem.
Why are you fighting against this?
We're fighting for our freedoms. We want our freedoms. We want our motherlands. We want Sudan will becoming one national democracy for the people of the Sudan whole, to becoming united to work together. Yeah, we want to rule the Sudan as the Negron people, as the human being, and we have to do that to get our freedom for our motherlands, and we will defend to our lands. We can move anywhere. You will be around him. Everything you will destroy his materials.
What will happen if you catch him?
As he shooting our civilians, we will shoot him. You will shoot him.
The more important is to have a very good plans for our forces, how to attack the enemies and to save our soldiers, safe sites. I need a very good plans how to attack, because we have our visions and we be suffering a lot in the bush. As you see now, we are not in the towns, and we're asking God that to supporting us so that we can manage to take our refugees or take our ITPs, let our people go back home. This is our plans, and our soldiers know that.
We'll fight with him with the Kalashnikov. This is the rifle we have. We don't have any weapons. We'll fight with him with the Kalashnikov, and we will capture from him.
In fighting this war, logistic difficulties, bad roads, lack of fuel, is that a major problem, a big problem?
Yes, the main problem is the logistic, as I mentioned, that especially food and the fuel, and then some ammunitions, and then additional rain is too heavy these days. The people cannot move. They are moving and cutting something also the main road cutting is tax. That is a problem.
What's the problem here?
The problem with the water. We are afraid here because the car wheel is stuck. This is what we are afraid. To cross there because we are there. We are not being here, we are just being across there. To move it for here, we'll pass it by the foot and then we'll cross almost there.
Salam, salam, montamo bay. Ayo. Kesole bay, kanana na kada yemo. Kesole bay. Kanana na kada yemo. Kesole bay age.
The more time I spent with the rebels, the more chilled out their war seemed. Because of rainy season, neither side could launch a decisive attack on the other. Instead, the rebels seemed to spend all their time playing cards and dominoes. But even in rainy season, the Sudanese government had one means of keeping the war alive. Whatever the weather, they were able to bomb us whenever they wanted. This is us being bombed before we even had breakfast. We were lucky, the bombs missed us and exploded harmlessly in the bush. Now it was over, the air raid seemed like the funniest thing in the world. The lull in fighting seemed to go on forever. The war took a back seat as the rebels sheltered from the rain. Once I taught them how to play noughts and crosses. They didn't do anything else for days.
Okay.
You tried to teach me. I am trying.
Alright,
I'm trying my very
alright,
best.
keep playing.
That's the sad thing.
Alright.
You're trying, but you're not happy. Yeah, you can stop now. Thank you very much.
It was like a really laid-back camping holiday. While some people worked, others improved their English, or just made friends with the local wildlife. Finally, it was time for the big push. Overnight, the rebels launched a surprise attack in government positions. After a month of waiting for some action, the rebels had finally attacked, but they wouldn't even let us film the fighting. Instead, they brought us to the village a couple of hours after they captured it from the government. Sorry, can you tell us about the fighting this morning?
So this fighting this morning they are starting in Dem Munzur, and now the SPLA are chasing outside from their forces, and still didn't get the accurate report how much tank they are capturing and how much gun they are capturing there. And we have information that there's the one something like 1 or 2 tanks they are withdraw in this side. And now we send it to one platoon to check. If they are getting there, we will continue fighting this time.
Are your men confident?
Confident?
Is your morale high, your men?
Yeah. Yes.
This was the rebels' first victory in a year of fighting, and for them it was time to party. But the war's not over yet. The Sudanese government has promised to counterattack soon. Now both sides are waiting for the end of the rainy season and the beginning of the fighting season.
Oh yeah,